Hello, everyone. Welcome to the evening edition of One Global Movement. Thank you so much, Tyrone. You are here again, the first person. Thank you, Galian, Momin, for being here again. Thank you guys so much. And thanks to the other groups, two groups that are watching on Facebook presently. Thank you guys so much. It's been a wonderful time spending with you guys, contributing to uplifting children and uplifting all of humanity. So thank you guys so much. And I'm sorry I am about 2, 3 minutes late, but we're going to start by playing a song that was composed by Michael Jackson. As we all know, as opposed to what the world thinks or says about Michael Jackson was always out for children. He's always out to uplift the poor, the hungry, the oppressed of the world. So he was always there for children. So we're going to play his song, and we might have to play it again at the end so that uh, uh, those who did not listen at first can listen at the end, right? So let us play this now. Okay, here we go. There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We keep on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We are a part of God's great big family. And the truth, love is all we need. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. Well, send them your heart so they know that someone cares, and their lives will be stronger and free. As God has shown us by turning stone to bread, and so we all must lend a helping hand. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Oh, there's a choice for making. We're saving our lives. If do we make a better day, just you and me. When you're down and out, and there seems no hope at all. But if you just believe, there's no way we can fall. Well, let's realize all that change can only come when we stand together as one. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. There's a voice in be safe in our own life. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. It's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. Oh, let me hear you. Okay, it's a little bit longer. I stop it now because it's going to take a little bit more. Next time we can play the whole thing. And I'm just trying an error here because since we are dealing with children, and this is kind of like a nonprofit, and I thought, let me try it. Hopefully, they're not going to come after me for copyright. So, this is a very beautiful song that was composed by Michael Jackson for the children, that we are the world. We are the children. Let us make it a better place for you and me, for all of us, for our children. So it's very important. We can do all what we can. We can get everything that we want to get in the world, all the resources, all the products or artificial intelligence, all the money in our bank account, everything. But if we do not come to that place of true love, the place that says we will love one another, we will love the children of the world, the children that are suffering, the children that are going without food, the children that are going without an education, the children that are homeless, the children that are beggars on the street, the children that have been so oppressed and suppressed, children that have been given more than enough by the Creator, but those things have been taken away from them. And so we are here to stand together to make sure that we champion the cause of humanity through the eyes of children and through children and by children. So thank you guys so much for coming here. We're going to have another fun topic tonight, and it has to do again with garden games. So we are in the Mindset series number 74. How about games and activities? We did some yesterday, but those ones were the ones that we created that were related to nurturing the garden, weeding, watering the garden, tending the garden to grow the crops that we can make fun out of. But these ones are also games that they are garden games, but these are created games that we can do that still bring fun to garden, even though it's not directly related to tending the garden or to water the garden or to plant or all of those things or to harvest. But these ones are still fun games that we can also do as a family. Because remember, family is our first God. Every family is our first God. It is written in the scriptures. You know, your first church, your first God are your family, because the scripture says no one can enter the kingdom of heaven unless they pass through the eyes of a child. And not imposing any religion. I'm just saying out of my own life, out of my own experiences, the way that I was brought up, because you and I did not fall from the sky out of accident. There has to be that superior being that created us, and that creation was made for a reason, for a purpose, which is what we are doing here today, to help, to uplift humanity, to uplift children of the world, right? So the reason why we are here today. So thank you guys so much. Tarunja, again, you took your first position today as the first. Galian is here, and Unpassive Down Under is here. And thank you guys so much. And thanks to those who are watching on the two Facebook channels. Thank you guys so much. You're welcome to this family. And let us like and share, and the big thumbs up, and do whatever it takes so that we can continue to share this with the rest of the world, so that we can be able to use Unpassive high technological products to reach all corners of the globe. Because Mr. Ash Mufari and the high tech team and the engineers of Unpassive build this to help the world, particularly the future, who are the children. And Mr. Ash Mufara built this with children in mind and with children at heart. So thank you guys so much. So Mindset series number 74. How about garden games and activities? How about that? Now, creating fun and engaging garden games and activities can enhance outdoor experiences for all of us. We need to know that it can enhance experiences for everyone, all of us, our children, AP, it can really do a lot. We are missing out on a lot of things that can be done naturally and with family included because we have been so trained and our minds have been so changed and diverted that we are shifting away from what matters, like family. Family is the center. If we want our children to understand all of these products that Mr. Ash Mufara is building, we have to come to that point of love within the family. And that is where it begins before our children can begin to understand this, and we ourselves before we can understand this. And so garden is another way of creating these games, because remember, all work without play makes Jack a dull boy. That's an old saying. And all play without work will still make Jack a dull boy. And so we have to be able to strike a balance between these activities. For instance, if we teach our children about these unpassive products, which are very good, they are built for the children and with the children in mind, with families, businesses, the educational system, the agricultural sector, all sectors of the economy. It's embedded in non-passive. These are great. These are things that are going to transform all society, families, and our children. But if we do not do it with fun, like all create is there for fun, all joy is for fun. All of those things, Mr. Ash Mufara carefully put those things together for a reason, because he understands the human psychology, that if you want to change people, if you want to change children, you have to really spice this thing up with all of these different aspects of life in order to bring up a holistic child, not just one aspect and not the other. We want the child to be brought up holistically with the products, education, with playing, with creating, with all of this virtual reality and augmented reality, and with high moral and ethical values. Because without these fun times, the children would not be able to learn. You and I cannot learn together. That is why we here in One Global Movement too, we're trying to do things in a fun way and trying to spice things up so that people can have fun while also enjoying life at the same time. Imagine when you're going to have freedom of time. Imagine that, which is something that we don't have now, because a lot of us, we have to depend on a 5 to 9 job. And imagine when we immerse ourselves fully in unpassive with the products of unpassive, just imagine the kind of transformation that it is going to bring to our families, particularly our children. Just imagine. I'm excited because I know that I get to be one of the soldiers that would take these products, these great products that have never before built in such a way that it's going to transform humanity. I'm just happy to be one of those that has to take this great news to the world, especially to children. So this is a great thing. So I am going to read the topic again for those of who just came in now. How about garden games and activities? So then we are in the mindset series number 74. How about garden games and activities? We did garden games yesterday, but these ones were directly related to the way you sow a seed, you nurture the seed, and then you harvest them. This has to be like in the garden, really doing it with the crops. But these ones are other kinds of games still related to the garden, but these are games that we can create using other ways that will bring fun to how we garden and to how we do other activities, not just gardening, because most of these things are interconnected, they are interrelated. You cannot do one without the others, just like you cannot vying and studying to know this product without striking a balance, without having the high ethical values, moral values that Mr. Ash Mufara is operating on passive on, and on passive was built on that. Because when you build something based on humans, already that is a high moral value and standard, and which is what we are also doing here. We cannot bring children up to teach them, to educate them, and to help them to provide for themselves without also building that same foundation. So creating fun and engaging garden games and activities can enhance outdoor experiences for families of all ages, of all ages. That means it includes our children. And what are some of these great ideas? And please begin to put your own kind of ideas in the chat there, so that you also be teaching me, so that we exchange ideas, and so that our children can also have varieties of different games pertain to different areas and different families. But when we bring all of these things together, then we have a lot to learn. So let us make all create work right here, all joy work right here in the chat. What are you thinking? What do you do with your family? What do you plan on doing these garden games? So let us begin to do this here in the chat. So number one, we have classic garden games, classic. But remember, I am treating these ones from the perspective of my understanding around my environment, around the United States here. And some of these things too can also apply in the world. We have what is called croquet game, Croquet, croquet. This is a traditional game where the players hit balls through a series of hoops using mallets. You hit balls, like you continue to hit balls through a series of hoops, jumping and hitting balls using a mallet. I have seen the game, and I have also once played it when I volunteered to work at a school. And then number two, you have what is called bouquet ball. These players take turns throwing balls to get as close as possible to a smaller target ball, which is a palino. It's called palino. Like they intentionally make the hole so small, and to see who can throw those balls to get as close as possible to the smaller target. These targets are small. Let's see who can get to the smaller targets. Some of them are done by darts to see where you can really throw it, right? This is fun, and people, they get gigs and giggles out of these fun games, and it is good. Imagine after working in your garden, and you bring together your family, you guys play those games, and then you go take a shower and eat supper together. That is beautiful. It is beautiful. And then horseshoes games. In these games, players throw horseshoes at a stick, aiming to encircle it or land as close as possible. To encircle. Horseshoes, if you Google horseshoes, there are some shoes that are called horseshoes, but this is meant to play the horse game with. And so horseshoes, horse game. You see that? It is fun. You can Google all of this. You can take your time to still go back to the video here after we are done. You listen to it and you Google. These are fun games. We don't want our children to be boring. We don't want our own activities to be boring. We want to keep spicing up things, because with life, you have to keep spicing up things. You have to keep bringing up new ideas. Look at what Mr. Ashmafara just did. Now, what he has done has been there for years, right? But he brought into this field of artificial intelligence a new kind of ball game that is transforming lives in a different way. He brought it from a different angle. And we are lucky to be the founding members of this amazing company that we're going to spread the good news to ourselves, our families, and the world. So this is what we are talking here about. You cannot just make garden to be boring. You have to come out with games. And sometimes these games, you can create this game, bring children together, just bring the idea, or they'll bring their own ideas. They'll create games that will be fun games that family can have fun time together. And sometimes you can invite neighbors and kids, and we have fun time together. And then we have what is called badminton. Badminton is called it's spelled Badminton. This is a game that is set up as a net and use rackets to hit a shuttle rock back and forth. It's just like the table tennis. It's like the table tennis, you're hitting it back and forth, and everybody, like, we don't want it to fall. We're just doing it without any order, like not in teams, but you just keep hitting everybody. When they hit, wherever it goes, everybody's trying to hit. We just keep hitting. We don't let it fall. And you should see the fun that people derived out of this. They'll be laughing and say, hey, come on, here we go, this. Yes. And then they are clapping for one another. We derive fun. And that is not just for the sake of those garden games only. You are exercising. You are helping your heart rate to succumb to a sudden shock, so that because you know your heart will be racing. It is bringing your heart rate up, so that in case of a sudden shock, your heart will be able to withstand that. A lot of things are happening here, but we are deriving fun in celebrating how we have planted our seeds and we are turning them, or we are harvesting them. Garden games are fun. What about lawn bowling? Lawn. You bowl in your lawn. Bowling. Just like throwing like the bowling balls with the pins. That is what is called lawn bowling. You bowl in your backyard, in your on your lawn. Similar to croquet, but typically this is done by you played on a flat grassy area with heavier balls. Remember that. Remember, like the bowling has very heavy balls, but here you also play, but on a flat surface area that is that has grass. You just keep bowling, throwing the balls back and forth to see who can roll it, but it is heavy. The balls are heavy. That is also exercising your hands and giving you strength in your upper extremities, and also exercising your entire body, but mostly in your upper extremities, because the balls are heavy, and you are just rolling it like you're rolling the balls in a bowling alley, right? So that is fun. How about activity and fun? Like active and fun activity. You are really active, like scavenger hunt. Have you guys heard about scavenger hunt? We do it here a lot, especially during Easter. We go on scavenger hunt. To, you hunt for the eggs. The eggs are strategically hidden in certain areas, and you go for scavenger hunt. So you create a list of items or natural objects for participants to find in the garden. Now you use your garden like hiding places with this kind of game, just like the scavenger hunt. You look for strategic places in your garden. You place items there. Some of these items can even be like quarters or money, or maybe just like a star. You want to give a child a star for good work, but they have to be able to find those stars. That is teaching them that nothing goes for nothing. There is no free things in this life. Before you want to find that object, you have to really be vigilant and look for it in the garden. And when they find it, they open it. Bingo. Maybe it's 10,000, or not 10,000, sorry. Maybe it's $10. You hide it there. That $10, whoever finds it belongs to the child. You are motivating them to know that, number one, nothing comes easy. And there is no such thing as a free lunch. You have to be able to work for something before you have it. Those games are there for a reason. And it also helps them to be strategic in finding something, or to really map out your way into getting something. It helps a lot, and that is really making them to think. So those games are fun. And then you also have what is called obstacle course. You use garden tools, plants, and outdoor furniture to create a fun and challenging course. That is like a course, like you build a course, and in that course there are certain things that are put strategically, so that you have to navigate that course in order to find those things. And those things, they make it a little bit complicated, so that you will use your brain in order to find those things. And then you have sack race. Have you seen some of the Chinese people? They do sack race. These people are really so fat. They intentionally eat certain things, foods that will make them fat, and they put sacks on themselves. these bags that are called sacks. And so participants will hop in ball lap sacks, which is these bags, to the finish line. They see how well you can walk faster in those sacks to the finish line. That is a great way to get kids moving. You can do these sacks for kids, but these sacks have to have oxygen. Don't suffocate your children. They have to have holes so that the air will be coming in there. And you can do it together with your children. We stand on a straight line, and we are already in our sack clothings, and you drink water because it's a game, so that you hydrate yourself and you get into those sack clothings, and let's see who will walk fast to the finish line. And remember, it's not easy to walk in a bag or in a sack. It's not easy, but we want to see who can do it the best. And if they did, what technique did they use? How did they manage to do it faster than the other people? Now we are learning from one another, and we can repeat it. We are learning, we are exercising, we are teaching the children that nothing good comes easy, because easy come, easy go. You have to make things that they can work for it. We have to work for things. We don't just get things. It's just like a non-passive. We have to be in it to win it, right? You have to be in the game. We have to be studying the products, attending these webinars, building these platforms together, so that we can reach children together. When time comes, it is all of us here that are going to be participating, and we're going to be directors or like mentors to these children. When the resources come, for instance, we'll say you are in India or you are in Cameroon, these resources will have to go through the founding members of OnPassive, so that these children can have it and distribute it fairly. And of course, we're going to have all of these artificial intelligence and algorithms that we are going to be using, that will make sure that things are done well without those mistakes, human mistakes, right? Things are done well, so that if we say we're going to give scholarships to students, and we're going to give $1,000 scholarship, for instance, we make sure that these machines will help us to distribute the scholarship fairly, eliminating those human mistakes. So these things, these products that Mr. Ashmifar and the team are building, they're so fabulous. If we only use it the way that they're going to be programmed, and respecting moral and ethical values, because all of these things are embedded in it. That is why OnPassive is called AI with heart. AI built with the truth, with moral values and high ethical standards, and built for the people. And of course, even if we make those mistakes, the machines are going to correct it right away to make sure that things are going well. So it's fun. It's fun. We have the tug of war. I'm sure a lot of us know tug of war. I have done it when I was younger. We did a tug of war where, we have this rope and there's a line, and everybody, we have our team on this end, the other team will have their own. Now we start, when they say on your mark, go, we see who is going to draw the rope and draw most of the rope on their own side, and they will win. That is a tug of war, split into teams, and use a study rope for a friendly competition. And this is friendly. You're not going to pull it in such a way that you're going to hurt another person. So we tell the children that, because this is just a friendly something. And when you know that you've pulled more than enough, do not let people fall to the ground to hurt themselves. So we take precautions in doing that. What about water balloons? I love water balloons. When I volunteered in schools, we've played water balloons. You buy balloons, variety of balloons, especially colored ones, because they are pretty, they're nice. Kids love this. And now we all inflate the balloons. You can use an inflator, which is a pump, or you can blow it with your mouth like this. You inflate the balloons and you tie them. But before you tie them, you have to fill them with water. Put water in it, and you pile them all over in baths or basins or these plastic swimming pools, and pairs of players toss the water balloons back and forth, taking a step back with each successful catch. So we can play it as a game. You throw it, you catch, you throw it to another person, they catch, you throw it, sometime they will pop, and the water will refresh you, as because when you're doing your sweating, because it's a fun game, you're sweating, and sometimes the balloons will pop and the water will spill on you. Kids love it. They will even want to even rub themselves in the mud because of the water. You see that? Those are fun games. What about educational activities? We cannot do anything without embedding it with education. Academy comes into play. You see that? Academy comes into play. O Create is there. O Create, O Academy, O Joy, and what other O's? All of these things that come into play, because one cannot go without the other. Now, educational activities. We have garden bingo. Who has played the bingo game? I have played. We're planning on buying a bingo game for summer activities in our home here. So we create bingo cards with pictures of plants. You can create your own bingo card. We know that they sell them in the store, but instead of buying, we can use all create to be creative with our children. We create our own cards. We buy papers, or we can use like boxes that we want to throw away. We reuse it. Remember the 3 R's. The 3 R's is recycle, reuse, reduce. Recycle, reuse, reduce. We do those things. So we use some of the card box. We make our own beautiful cards tailored uniquely to our family, and the kids will be happy to do that. My son loves to draw games for the family, and so we did. And then they create bingo cards with pictures of plants, insects. How about you draw the bumblebee that it's about to pollinate the flowers or your plants? You draw it, and garden tools for players to spot. Garden tools. Now you place this card somewhere, or you shuffle the cards. You shuffle the cards. You guys are in eating dinner. After that, you want to play the bingo. Now we shuffle the cards, and you can pick four, and we go like this. You say, pick the one that is with these garden tools. We go. And you can have about 2 or 3 chances. And chances are that you're going to do well. And or we can hide the card somewhere and say, go for it. And when we do this, we have to motivate the kids in particular, maybe with clapping, or say great, or other things, just like we motivate our own selves as adults. Or we can do maybe when you pay attention to your children, maybe they are talking about a certain book that they want to read, or they're talking about a certain movie that they want to watch, but it must be age appropriate. And now you can just hide those movies with those things. When they find it, there we go. We get that movie, and the whole family gets to watch together. Lots of fun things to do. What about plant identification? We can teach kids about different plants and flowers, then have them identify and label these plants and items. We can do that. And when you do those things, do not throw away those things. Keep them as records for your family, as part of your family library, and keep them, because you can also use them to write books, so that these kids can use it to teach their future families, their future children, or teach their community, or volunteer to go to the library and set a program on how to read those things and teach children in the library. We used to do that. I used to do it. So we do those things. That is another way, rather than just sitting in the classroom and be bored. That is a creative way to do something. How about composting, natural manure, doing your compost challenge? We can educate our children and the whole family on composting by setting up a station where participants can contribute organic waste. Organic waste, like we can do this one, we can include neighbors, or we start small with our family, and then we go to neighbors, we go to the community. You are teaching the community to farm or to garden organically. What do? You're home with your children, and we already know what constitute composting materials, like the banana peelings, like vegetable seeds, like some crickets or insects, like some kind of leaves, or like Some kind of food that we want to throw away, we dump it right there. A lot of things can constitute composting so that you can have organic manure. Now you already we plan the game. You tell the children we're going to have this composting game. What do they do? Every child is fighting to make sure that they don't waste. They recycle what they have into composting. Now you want to make sure that everything stays clean so that the food flies don't come to the house. You give them, they know where you keep your plastic bags. Now everybody has their own plastic bag or container for say 2-3 days. They put their composting items instead of wasting it, and now they go to the composting, they dump it there, or they have specific places for their own composting. They do it there. That's fun game. You watch the kids really being frugal, really being economical without wasting food. Food wastage, like Brother Smart teaches us how they waste food through the theme that he always teaches us. How do you call that theme again that he always teaches us? Food storage or food using the machines. I'm just forgetting the exact words, but that is something that we can do. How about creating creative activities such as nature's craft? Collect leaves, flowers, twigs to create natural art pieces of fairy houses. You can create a fairy house, a house made of leaves. And during the day, you go and sit there and get some fresh air, like us in Africa. And even in Britain, some areas, I'm planning to build my home from scratch. After this one, I am going to make sure that the grass herd is there, because you can use the grass herd as air conditioning, natural air conditioning, instead of these kind of mud houses or plank houses or whatever. That is good. You can build one part of your home as that. Natural leaves, you can collect natural leaves. You create a board, a family board at home, where they can get these leaves, they paint them in whatever structure that is coming to their mind. And now you have the glue, and you paste these leaves in different shapes and forms on a wall in your home. Do you know that that is a beautiful art to beautify the home? Kids love this game. I have done it before. You can draw faces, smiley faces. You can draw a heart on those leaves. You can do whatever. You come out with your own creative ideas. This is teaching children to be very, very creative. How about garden painting? Set up like easels and paints and let children participate to paint scenes from the garden. Look at things around the garden, you paint them, and it will constitute beauty in your home, natural beauty, natural, not the beauty that comes with the plastics that we buy from the store. We can do these things. And then what about story time? Story time is one of my favorites. My grandmother, like I said, I think it was yesterday or before, when it is harvesting season, that is the best fun time of the year with storytelling. We have all the mothers and grandmothers in one place, because our kitchens in my culture are huge kitchens that accommodate people, because we do that for a reason. Now, the mothers, the young girls, and the grandmothers, they go to their own section. The fathers, the men, the grandfathers or grand-grandfathers, they go to their own section. Now is harvesting time for corn and groundnuts or peanuts. We cook huge pots, peanuts, then we put them in baskets. We take it to the men, and then part of it to the women. And then the corn, sweet corn, the same thing. We take it there. And then you can roast, while you're cooking, there is a big campfire. You can still roast corn on the open fire, like roasted corn, or you can still roast peanut. They taste so good. Each time I talk about it, I salivate. I just want to eat it. I just want to just do it and eat it right there. And I have a campfire behind my home here. We do campfires where we also do other things there. We also smoke our meats, because when you smoke meat, it tastes so good. Because a lot of times fresh meat is not so good for the body. You can contact gout or some of those things. But story time is very important. You hear the old stories, stories that we read in books. These are stories that you can hear from your parents that have been passed down from generation to generation. And you can actually document those stories, or you can record them as they narrate these stories. You turn those stories into a book so that these stories don't disappear, so that they can be passed down from generation to generation. Storytelling is a time to bond with family. It's a time to look back and appreciate our ancestors, a time to look back and say, thank God that my existence has been contributed upon by my parents, my grandparents, and subsequent descendants and our ancestors. It's a lot of great things. And you see how you can move forward, especially with this age of artificial intelligence. It started with storytelling. And now this storytelling can be turned into machines that are going to help us. The same thing has been programmed into machines, and they'll continue to help us. But we have to have that connection and to show gratitude to those things. Very important. I'm telling you, I love story time. I would just sit like this. And if my grandmother was the one telling the stories, if she's going to take a break, I said, then what, grandma? What next, grandma? I was so anxious to listen to those stories. They are good stories. And look at Mr. Ash Mufara. When he is talking, he might not be our father, our parents, he might not be our grandfather, but what he is saying is the beginning of a new era of stories, the beginning of a new era of artificial intelligence stories. That is machine learning that is going to be embedded. But it started with him talking. When he's talking, he's saying things in such a way that it's like the creator downloaded these things onto him, and then he will say them. These are stories. What else? These are stories, and these stories are going to be put in books. And we are going to be the beneficiaries, not just only in books, but also machine learning. And this machine learning, all of these products are going to be written in books so that the kids and other people around the world can follow the instructions and also learn and also use this machine. Either way, it is a great revolution that OnPassive is bringing to us, storytelling through machine learning. It is great. And then how about group games? We capture the flag. A large space is needed for this game. You have to have a very large space, open space, for this game where teams try to capture each other's flag. You have your flag, I have my own flag, and we try to capture each other's flag. What is your flag? You're drawing your flag according to what you love about your garden. You draw it, you capture it. Maybe it's your flower plant. Maybe it's the lake, because all of these, even animals, is part of the garden, part of the ecosystem. You try to capture these things. And now we see who can capture the most. Not just capturing it with a camera, you can use a camera, of course, but you can also try to capture it in writing or in drawing. It's a fun time. What about relaxation? Relaxation activities and games. We talk about garden yoga. We know yoga. Yoga is a very beautiful way of relaxing our minds, our souls, and our entire bodies. And now this yoga can be programmed into this machines, artificial intelligence, and we would just set it up and we just do it. It speaks to us and we just do it, right? It's already there. It's happening. So hold a yoga session in the garden, focusing on relaxation and connection with nature, connecting with God, nature. Now you can just go with breathing session. Like you breathe to a count to five. You hold your breath a count to five and you release it a count to five like this. You relax. You breathe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You hold it to a count of 5 too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you release the air at a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you know what you're doing? You are feeding your lungs. It's a game, it's fun, but you're also helping your system to stay healthy. You're feeding your lungs with oxygen, pure garden oxygen from the vegetation, from photosynthesis, good oxygen. Carbon monoxide is taken out, and you're inhaling the sunshine, photosynthesis from your garden, the greenness from your garden. And this is expanding your lungs and also clearing out some blockages and impurities that might sit in your lungs, especially for those of us who smoke. It's very important. And you can do it anywhere while you're walking. It must not only be in the garden, but this one is in the garden. It's a garden game. Sometimes when I'm driving, I do it because it helps you. You can do it so many times a day. When you are used to it, you even just do it without somebody telling you. Well, how about picnic? Do you remember barbecue, roasted meat, roasted fish? And you just prepare that delicious traditional dish of yours in a picnic form where we eat together. You can invite families and we do this together. You set up a picnic area with blankets, or you build a house with some palm fronts, like we do it locally, and you sit and eat. You'll be so happy. Imagine taking a picture of you and your family and your kids really doing a picnic with things that are built from nature for a relaxing meal outside your home. Sit outside, admire nature. You're having this picnic. You're eating just like so tender meat that you roasted on your grill or you bake in the oven. Just imagine that. We do it outside because we use the grill, the outside grill, and we grill our food. You grill your meat, you grill your vegetables, you grill your corn, you grill everything. And that is one of the best ways of cooking. It is healthy. Instead of frying it, we do it in our garden. But don't do it close to the plant so you don't wither the plants though with fire. So that is a wonderful thing. What about bird watching? I love to watch the birds, and I posted something a week ago. We went out as a family on a walk. We want to do those walks every morning at 7 a.m. But because some of us work and sometimes we do it when we can, but we want to make sure that we do it. It's a family fun time together. So went out on a walk. We saw this big bird on the farm was picking on the worms. We stopped. We zoomed in with our camera. We were watching all the activities of the bird, and we took pictures. And I posted the pictures. These are the simple and priceless things in the world that God created us with. But a lot of time the world has fooled us and we tend to look at things outside. Remember, unpassive is built on nature, is built on God. Those are the simple things in life that God gave us, but they are the most precious things that we negate, and we turn towards things that will not help us, trying to copy other people when God already created us. And it is the same thing that Mr. Ash Mufara is doing with this product. Build organically. Organically. Think about the data centers, building them from scratch so that they will not be tinted with what the world thinks and says that they should do artificial intelligence. But this is what is going to help uplift the whole of humanity. So these are natural things. So provide a binocular. You can watch the games. I told you I zoomed my camera and we watch it. We stood there for a moment to watch it and took pictures. But we could also buy family binoculars. You all know those binoculars, you know. We can buy those binoculars and a guide to a local birds for a peaceful bird watching activity. We have this tree in front of our home. It's my son. My son loves animals and he really spends his money to feed these animals. He will buy boxes of food for birds. And so he buy bird feeders. He will put one of them or two on our deck and then go to the front yard, and he will put those things there and hang them on these trees, and the birds will come like in a swamp. And when people are walking, they will stop by there. Now you are entertaining not just you, You're also entertaining your community and your neighbors. They will stop by there, they will watch, and they will take pictures. You see that? A lot of things that we can do, but it has to boil down to doing things organically, nature, doing things with nature. See, God gave Mr. Ash Mufara a vision. That is nature. And now he is turning this vision, building things organically. That is nature. To put this knowledge into machine, this is knowledge from Mr. Ash Mufara and the building team. It is organic nature. They just have to program it into machine because this is from humans. The machine has no capacity to produce that knowledge until humans put that knowledge there. And this is pure knowledge from nature, because we hear him says the man above. We hear him says the spirits are speaking to me. This is nature. We take it simple, but to me, I take it very seriously. And I am investing in these products so bad because I know that they are built organically, they are built with nature in mind. And nature is you caring for humans. Because the scripture says anything that is built around human beings, anything that is built to uplift humanity, God's hand is in there. And that is why you see Mr. Ash Mufara succeeding despite the opposition, despite the obstacles that are being created for him. He's succeeding because anything that is built with nature in mind, that means God, that means built for humans, with humans in mind, it cannot help but touch the heartstrings of God and pull God's heartstrings to make that thing to be successful. Mr. Ash Mufara is going to be one of its kind in the world, to be so successful because his business is built based on humans, not on profit only. Profit is good, is the last thing, but you have to do it for human beings first. And guess what? He built it for the future, and the future are children. So we are in the best place ever in the life of humanity. And it is the energy that you put in on passive is what you're going to get out. And for me, in One Global Movement here, I am doing the absolute best so that I'll leave a lasting legacy in the world for these children and young people, and of course, parents and families. And with you guys here, this is what we are talking about, nature. Don't you think that I love to come here and see you guys? I love it because you guys are humans. Don't you like to hear me talk about how we can uplift these children? I'm sure you do. That's why you come here. Otherwise, what is the reason for you to come here? Because we know that together, using the spirit of the Ubuntu, that says we are humans, only through the humans, only through the humanity of others. It's the reason why we are here. And God cannot help but help us succeed so that we can reach these children that have been so abused, that have been so oppressed, that have been put in situations that these children did not call for. They are hungry, they are starving, their parents' properties and other things have been seized for no reason because of power and greed. That these children are homeless, they are beggars on the street, that they are not educated, that Mr. Ash Mufara has put these children in mind before building these products. Guess what? On-passive will succeed a million years to come. And nobody can ever disturb that because Mr. Ash Mufara did it carefully, asking us, begging us to come together so that he can lead the way and then we can follow and do this thing together because he saw how the world is going. This man is a rich man. He could have just taken his money and just sit like the other people and just use it for himself and his family. But he understands the concept that you can only be human through the humanity of others. He might call it differently, but we call it in Africa the spirit of Ubuntu. That is how I was raised. That you can only succeed and be truly successful and be happy with your success in life by helping children and women. And when you help these two, you have helped the entire world. And that's why we are here. Isn't that an amazing thing? And now we are using these garden activities. It is embedded in this on-passive AI technology. You have all create. You have all academy. You have all joy. You have, can I say all safe or all tracker or whatever? We have all of these things. These are humans that created these things. And now it's going to be made possible and equally distributed with all inclusion and choices. with putting them in machines that will not know who you are, but they will only know the content of your character towards those machines, operating them with high ethical values and standards. You know what? I'm so fired up. I'm so happy. And I thank Almighty God for this. And I pray and I pray and I pray for Mr. Ash Mufara and the building team and all of us who are founding members that we must change our mindset, that we must not look into our egos, into profit. What can I get out of this? That we must not just be greedy, that we must not use the way the world has taught us to behave towards other humans, towards children, that we must do right because God has created us with a lot of abundance. God has given everything to us. We must not want to take things from other people by using powers or things that will hurt other people so that we can go above them. Children in the world are crying, they are bleeding. They are asking for us here in One Global Movement to be there for them, to be there for them so that these children can be happy and be healthy again. So thank you guys so much for watching. And I am going to be reading this, and I would like you guys to know that tomorrow, Friday, I will be present at the 1 p.m. Eastern Daytime show. But during the 7 p.m., I will not be able to do that. Reason being that I am attending the graduation ceremony of one of my children, and that is my stepson. I helped to raise that child because the mother was finding a lot of difficulties to raise that child well. So I had to take that child to raise that child. And even though this child was brought into the world by a cheating husband, but I decided to raise that child because that child has nothing to do with the way that he was brought into the world. So I raised him. He lived with us for some time, and he is going to be graduating from high school. I am really so happy because this child was so backwards that he couldn't read, because I didn't even know that there was a child out there like that. And so when I discovered that, my son started teaching him, and from 6 years old, he started learning how to read. So he's doing well. He's always with us here at home. So he's graduating tomorrow. I will not be able to do so, but I will find a way to open StreamYard door so that Esther or whoever is going to help will be there. And Nancy, if you can, please, if you can, but maybe you'll be at work, I think. Otherwise, if you have this opportunity, please, you can be on stage with Esther, and I will share the flyer. You guys will know what. Just do what comes out of your heart, because a lot of time what comes out of your heart, out of yourself, is the best thing to do. How you hear me talk, that is the way it appears to me. So we want to be authentic, we want to be pure, we want to be clean, we want to be grateful and to be fearful, and not fearful like fear, but fear God, because when you fear God, you do the right thing for children. And we want to also be so grateful to Mr. Ash Mufara for bringing us together. Otherwise, One Global Movement will not be here. I will still be struggling to grow it, but with unpassive, I know that Mr. Ash Mufara will one day say, hey, I will help these children that you are registering to subscribe for them, because he's that good, because he gave us this business for free, right? So that's my reason if you don't see me tomorrow, okay? Thank you so much, but please be here to support the people that are going to be helping. So thank you. And we have Tarun took the first seat again. Thank you. Thank you, Galleon, for being here today with us. Thank you, Unpassive Down Under. And Down Under, thank you so much for being with us here. We don't know your name. And is it Nandi? We would like your name, because here we want children to know us by our names so that tomorrow they will know us. And when they meet us, they will know, right? And we want to be so pure and safe here when we are dealing with children. So thank you so much for being here. And if you're new, you're welcome into this family. Make sure you share. We want to make sure that we reach 1.7 billion children, every child in the world, at least. And we only have to share, otherwise we cannot get to these children. And 1.4 million founding account members is a good way to do this. And we subscribe to, so that when we go live, you will know. And when we have new content, you will also get it. So thank you so much. So good morning, Tarun Ja from Galion. Thank you. Hello, Sir AP. Thank you so much for being here. You are welcome here. Thank you. Hello, Nancy. I know you're at work, but thank God that you are able to do this and you're sharing. And thank you for bringing in new people all the time and also helping people who cannot subscribe to subscribe to One Global Movement. This is something that we all can do because when we grow this, we are growing the children. When we grow this, what I'm doing in the United States here, the government will also put a hand there because they see what we are doing. They know that it's good. Mind you, they are monitoring me all the time, what I'm doing here in One Global Movement. I'm being monitored because it's also registered with the United States government. So thank you so much. And hello, Tarun. Hello, Galian. Sir AP, welcome to hashtag One Global Movement. And hello, AP, Mahusadanan and Nancy Jody, ma'am. Thank you. And we have me, Janelle Ali. Hello. Thank you so much for being here with us, and you are welcome here. We are together for children. We are uplifting children, and of course, we cannot uplift children without uplifting their parents and their caregivers or the adults around them. So, thank you so much. If this is your first time here, you're welcome here. And please, this here on passive. Can we please write on passive in big letters, capital letters? If somebody can demonstrate it in the chat, please. We want it to be capitalized. This is branding. This is the name of our company, and this is the biggest of its kind. We want to really write it big, okay, in big letters, not little letters. So thank you so much. And of course, our brother DS Nayak is here. Thank you so much, sir, for really being here twice a day. It's something amazing. Thank you so much. Again, let us write on passive in big capital letters if you can. Thank you so much. And of course, our brother Shriji Jana is here. Good evening, Dr. Mundih, and everyone in hashtag One Global Movement. Thank you so much, Jana, for your tremendous support here. And all of you who are here, I highly appreciate that. Our children of the world are going to know your name, just like Mr. Ash Mufara says. They're going to know you by name because it's not easy to come here to do what we are doing, but children are going to be happy. And God would uplift all of us for what we are doing. So thank you. And AAP Madhusudanan says, identifying different eatables and notables plants is beneficial for children. Some of the plants and mushrooms are poisonous. Different seeds with numbers. Let the children and women identify. Yes. Thank you so much for doing that. And sometimes you don't just go and eat any kind of mushroom. You have to find out. You have to find out before you eat it. And we must identify these things and teach our children because some of the things are poisonous. And we must also watch out sometimes for what the news says because sometimes in the United States, here more than once or twice, some of the peanut butter were poisonous and they had to recall it. And some of the lettuce too. The lettuce fresh lettuce was poisonous and they had to recall it. So we have to watch out for ourselves and our family. Thank you so much, sir. That is always uplifting. Thank you. Hello to Galian from Sir AP. And hello, Sister Nancy, Galian, Sir AP. Thank you so much. Everybody is saying hello. Let me go down here. Veronica, my sister, how are you? Thank you so much for being here, beautiful sister. We highly appreciate you. Thank you so much. Welcome, Veronica Ampim, to hashtag One Global Movement. Thank you. And you see, on passive is written here in capital letters by, let me see here. What did I do here? You see, Kayanderi writes, Sir Kayanderi writes like that on passive in big capital letters. That is exactly what we want to see so that we are branding our company well, right? Thank you. And let the children and women understand about popular medicinal plants and herbs. Let them learn to identify them by shape, smell, and taste. I know that sometimes ago you and I talk about this. I am working towards that. I'm just so busy now because some of these things, we have to bring them to the attention of our children. I started yesterday by buying rosemary leaves, fresh ones from the store. I'm going to learn how to use it maybe as tea or as what. And in the future, Sir AP, and I know that you're going to play a tremendous role in these natural herbs and plants that are healthy for children. So we can have them here in One Global Movement so that the children can learn about it and they can begin to use them. Because when they start using them from very young, this is going to help them, and they will be apt to stay away from those fast food areas that they use all these chemically produced things, and it's going to really help them to balance their hormones as they grow. Thank you so much. And our sister here says sax raising and picking the lime and running with egg in the spoon is fun. It's fun too. See, that's another game right there. She's teaching us another game. Thank you so much. It is fun. It is fun. Thank you. Thank you. And hello to Shrijana here. And let me go down here. And we have Binu. If you're new here, you're highly welcome here. And thank you so much for being with us, Binu. Come again and encourage other people to know what we are doing here in One Global Movement. We all need to do this. We cannot keep One Global Movement only to ourselves and our families. We want that when those things start, I am building another monument right here in the United States for One Global Movement. And then while waiting for Unpassive to take us to the top, but we cannot wait. And so I am building that with the federal government. And when time comes, it's going to help. So we are here for children. Share, 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 so that every child in the world is touched, okay, by One Global Movement. So thank you so much for being here with us. And Sir AP says, organic waste, whatever waste food you eat can be converted to manure through vermicompost program. Vermi. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm going to take that name down. I have to read so much into that. And I know that you know, because you know what you're talking about. So thank you so much, Sir AP. And the sack racing, picking up the lime or lemon and running with egg in the spoon and carrying one another and running, it's also fun. Yes, just to make sure the egg doesn't break. That is the essence of the game, because you will be taking care of your egg so that it doesn't break, right? Yes, it's fun, fun, fun. And of course, our beautiful Suresh is here today. How are you? Thank you so much, Suresh, for always being here to support children of One Global Movement. And our brother here says, greetings. Getting education or learning things with fun and games encourage our children, and they get things into their concept easily. So true. So true. We don't want to make things so tense. That is why I say here in One Global Movement, if you want to come here with your children, that's fine. If they come to the stage here and they're making noise, we pay attention to them. And we drop everything. If your child calls, you must drop what you're doing here in One Global Movement and attend to that child. Very important. You have seen me receive a phone call from my son because I have to. We don't wait when the children is in need or call us out of the blue for something. And so it's fun. When you do things with children, they understand so well. That fun has to be there, but love. When the fun is there, that means the love is there, because you do fun things with love. Children are going to really feel that, and they are going to be happy. Let the children understand the lifetime of different plants and seeds. Let them understand about traditional crops and hybrids. Certainly, certainly. And I also always say, don't always just take seeds that people come to sell seeds to you without knowing if those seeds do well. Because a lot of in the world, people create seed program to go and deceive other areas of the world. Plant this is going to do well. Of course, it can do well, and then sometimes you don't get the seeds to continue planting, but they want you to continue to buy those seeds from them, therefore diminishing and depleting the seeds that do well in your area. You don't want to do that. You want to study it very well before you do that. So we are encouraging things that grow in your environment, the way that you understand and you've studied and know that they grow there. Our parents did not go to study. What they did was shifting cultivation, and they will know this is what does well here, this is what does well here, by trying and error. But now with artificial intelligence, they will be able to do that for us, and we know what grows well, so that we don't fall the victim of how greed works in the world, where they sell their seeds to you, and those seeds are not going to do well in your area, and then they're going to diminish your seeds, and then also poison your soil. That is going to take time, and then you keep depending on their seeds. So we don't want that, right? We don't want that. So we need to study that. But thank God for unpassive AI. Those things are going to just come easily to us. Yes. And say if you say birds and animals watching through augmented reality and virtual reality program, also beautiful experience for children. Let us ask these facilities through hashtag unpassive and academy. Of course it's going to happen. That's why I'm so excited about it. This is nature program into this machine that is going to serve all our children without relegating some children to the backwaters of life. These things are going to be just equal globally. Every child matters. No child has to be left behind. Very important. And then practicing yoga can be a hugely positive influence on your health and well-being, helping you deal with the many mental stress as well, keeps you fit physically. Yep, that is so true. I practice yoga. I do a lot of activities and I'm so used to them that I'm happy. Sometimes we just dance. Dancing and you sweat, it's a good way to really keep healthy and keep your heart functioning well. Very, very important. And all things we can't naturally do to all children because everything is not available in all localities. So we must provide them to learn alive and as natural through AI usage, through uh, augmented reality and virtual reality. Yes, of course. Not everything is available, and that is just the way the world is. But through a unpassive AI, augmented and virtual realities, these things can be made available to our children, which is this is wonderful. This is fabulous. I love it. I love it. And telling them stories and having amazing life stories, trivia about anything that is educative to them. Let them also come up with their stories and share with the group and have fun. Yes, of course. And remember that stories are often from personal experiences. A lot of us, we need to give a listening ear to our children. When they come back from school, and it depends on how you brought up your children. Like for us, we decided to bring our child with openness, open mind. And so our son, he discusses everything. When he goes and studies something in school, he will come back. He can't wait to come and narrate the story. That is how these children can come out with games because they learn it from school. And those that they learn from home, they can turn it into their own way, the way it appears to them, it comes to them, and they turn it into these trivias and games that are fun games for family time together. Isn't that beautiful? In future, through quantum technology, even the different types of smells and feel through machines from distance. Of course, what is now going to be possible? Everything, even your emotions, even when you're thinking of something, AI is already reading you, knowing what to do. How do you think we're going to be the correction to the corruption? By those emotions, because they're going to read you already what you're thinking, whether you're going to steal or you're going to corrupt or you're going to exclude a child from something, it's going to tell, right? I love it. I really love it. And I'm grateful to Mr. Ash Mufare. Mostly, the virtual reality programming helps to build real experience among children and they could understand the things easily. Wow, that is so true. Yep. We did a virtual and augmented reality already with Mr. Raj Damoda, and we even did it ourselves too, which is very good. So thank you guys so much. You guys are doing a wonderful job here contributing. This is real education, okay? Exchanging points and viewpoints and our thoughts together. This is what is called real life education. We're doing this here, and thank God it's even going to be better with this machine learning. Thank you so much. And our exceptional products like Academy, Ojoy, Onjoy, and many more will play a pivotal role in this respect. Certainly, certainly, my brother. That is so true. Thank you so much. And Nancy says, family, remember to press the big thumbs up. Okay? She will never forget that. Press the big thumbs up, the likes, subscribe if not yet done, turn on the notification bell and share with family and friends and your community. Why not go to a school and share this on passive technology with children so they would know, right? And One Global Movement, what we're doing here for them. So thank you so much, Nancy. And hashtag on passive, hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag Cadmo. Cadmo is supreme. I love that. And hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag Academy, hashtag Onjoy, hashtag Virtual Reality, hashtag Connect, hashtag On Passive. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. And we have Raswal, how are you, sir? Thank you for being with us here this evening. Namaste. Thank you so much for your contribution, and your presence is highly appreciated. Thank you so much. And Nancy here says, hashtag Mr. Ash Mufara, hashtag unpassive, hashtag Dr. Mundih, hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag our lovely participants, hashtag everything. Thank you so much. Thank you. And Nancy says, good morning, good night, everyone. Remember, One Global Movement loves you and appreciate you. Thank you so much. Love is paramount. It is the love for humanity that made Mr. Ash Mufara to do what he's doing. And we get to be the beneficiaries. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. I love that. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Nancy. And rosemary plants are good for health. You can use it in drinks and cold foods. Wow. Then I can put it in my salad now. I was going to learn it. I brought 2 packages of organic ones, and they are not very cheap, but they are good. They are good. So thank you so much for letting me know. I can boil it as my tea too, isn't it? Thank you so much, Sir AP. I love that. And I know that you know those natural herbs a lot. Thank you. And Sir AP says, I am fighting with those systems from decades and got some success in local level to stop such studies in a university. Those seeds which destroying the reproduction naturally. I'm telling you, they're destroying people from producing babies because they're trying to control things, and a lot of things are going on in the world. And thank God that some of us are bent on changing these things for the better. You know, government systems that have been put in place to destroy a lot of things in the world. And we are here with natural products from Unpassive. Together, we will transform communities around the world. And thank God that One Global Movement gets to benefit and to use this to help children, because Mr. Ash Mufara cannot do it by himself. That's why he brought us here together, so that we can take this into our various endeavors and doing it together. That's why I say, if you have something that you're building, let us know. If it is good, which I'm sure is going to be a good something, we can talk about it here in One Global Movement, because the essence is not just to uplift our children, but to also promote the various endeavors that their parents are using to raise these children. We want to promote it here, and we want to support one another. You hear me announcing Weed in My Garden, which is in ONET. That is one of the projects. And you hear me talking about seed programs and the 5 Chicks per Child program. These are all projects. If you guys have any project, we need to do it together. The spirit of the Ubuntu. One Global Movement can only be human here through the humanity of all of us here, right? So let us do that. So thank you so much, Sir AP. And of course, our only lady mentor is here, Ballyhoo Pushpin Media, Sister Sharon. Thank you so much, sister, for everything that you're doing. I just got home. Happy Thursday. Hashtag One Global Movement. Hashtag No Child Left Behind. Take some rest, sister. Take some rest. And you can attend when you can, okay? Don't over push. We want all of us to be healthy and happy so that we can be able to help these children, right? So thank you so much. So hello from everyone here to you, Sharon. Yes, hello, hello. Thank you so much. And Greg, how are you? Thank you so much for being among us here today. We highly appreciate you. Thank you so much. Come again and invite others. And of course, our arts director is here, Kusha. Thank you so much for always doing what you're doing, even though doing it behind the scene, but you're also doing it on here. We highly appreciate you. And of course, Our beautiful sister Veronica says, hashtag One Global Movement will plan to take the children to excursions. Yes. I love it. How about organizing a yearly come together for all children in the world? And we will see how we can help to get some of those children together from one country to the other. How about that? Because that's the plan of One Global Movement. And when we do that, we make sure that One Global Movement will stay in one country for at least a week, interacting in children in different districts and different cities or different states. We do that, and you know, it's excursion is very good. I'm telling you, we go to beautiful places. There's beauty all over the world, and just know that there is beauty as well as there is darkness all over the world in every area of the world. Don't listen to what the history of the world is telling you. Go look for it yourself. Research everything that you hear. Look for it yourself. There's beauty everywhere, and we're going to go on these excursion trips, and you're going to be there too, Sister Veronica. We're going to be together. So thank you guys so much, and thank you for your patience. And we're going to play our international anthem now. Where is my phone? What is that phone of mine? It's right here. So I always like to leave it at the end because this, our international unpassive anthem, is so important that everybody gets the opportunity to listen to it. Because if I play it at the beginning, sometimes, and not everybody will have that chance, but sometimes it's good to play it before we start. So let's go here, and I turn it on. And you guys, you can join the Facebook group for One Global Movement if you are on Facebook too, okay? It's good to join. So 1 second, it's coming up because the commercial, I just turned down the phone so that, turn down the volume so that the commercial does not disturb, okay? But it's coming. I will skip it now. And we're going to go now. I turn the volume up now. And make sure that it's going
Battery 50%. Connected to Yvonne's S24
Let us play it and then we will disperse, okay? And you guys have a peaceful night and good morning to those that are already in the morning. We are here. We are on path, shining bright into the future. We rise high with one heart, a revolution, lifting up humanity as we rise, standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorn. We are the stars. Oh, into it, into it. Oh, into it. Bringing hope, shining the light. We're a nation, we are rising with one love, with one goal, bringing solution, lifting up humanity. Let's rise high, standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorn, we are the stars. Into it, into it. Into Come on, we go. You need to win it. You need to win it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you is the biggest gift that I can give to each and everyone here. But more so, we thank Mr. Ashmufara. He carries the greatest gift for humanity, and we thank Almighty God that he was able to bring us here together. He could have had the vision, the dream, and did not act on it, but he decided to act on it because he has a heart for humanity, because he himself says repeatedly that we cannot uplift humanity without a good heart, and it's for that reason that we're here. He also says if somebody offers you a good meal talking to us, won't you want to share that meal with others? He is sharing his own meal with us so that we can share it with the world. So thank you guys so much. We also want to thank our singer here, Sister Loretta Shadare, because this music, it really uplifts my soul. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so thank you guys so much. Let us pray for one another. We pray for good health for all of us. We pray for prosperity in all areas of our life. We pray that we keep studying these products repeatedly, trying to understand and asking questions where we don't understand. And if you're struggling, maybe just struggling to sign into your account or anything, of course, the dream team is there. They take their time to help. We cannot help with those kind of issues here because we want people that are specialized in this high technology to be able to help you well. And don't sit back and don't ask questions if you're having any difficulties. And of course, if you have anything that you see around your environment about children or families, you want us to talk about that is going to help all of us here, please bring it forth. We want to build this foundation so firm because if we don't talk about these things, we just jump into helping these children, they will not be able to help themselves. We want to make sure that we build this foundation with high moral and ethical values because that's exactly how OnPassive has been built. And that is the way we all have to build anything that we do in life, right? So thank you guys so much. Saturday, May 25th is Africa Liberation Day. The theme for Africa Day is this year is educate an African fit for the 21st century. African celebration will focus on women in agriculture. And this is good, but also know that this is a way to motivate, to encourage people. Education is the number one thing that is everywhere in all over the world, even in the continent of Africa. But what quality? What is the education? We want to be able to educate people in the way that they will understand, in the way that is all inclusive, everyone, every child. So this is very, very important that we celebrate this. Thank you so much that you're bringing all of these special occasions, Sister Sharon, and teaching us about it. Of course, we're going to make a flyer, and educating a child in Africa is educating children all over the world. Educating a child in the United States of Africa is educating children all over the world, because together these children can come together and they can excel in everything in their lives. Failure to do so will be failure to help and uplift children in the world through O Academy, O Bless, O Enjoy, O Play, and all of those things. So thank you so much, Sister Sharon, for always bringing that. Thank you. And Africa is everywhere. It's not, it is a continent, and it connects with all continents in the world, so that when we do this, children will be apt to go to those excursion trips. They will be apt to visit and crisscross to learn about other things around the world, right? So thank you so much for doing that. So thank you guys so much. We have come to the end. Remember to stay focused, stay encouraged, stay empowered, and always believe in endless possibilities. I love you all. And if it's okay, Sister Sharon, I would like to call you after this, okay? Thank you guys so much. Until next time, bye bye.